Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de who I want to win, or at least do well and exceed expectations in this World Cup. That's it happening in Qatar right now, because football is life. Hey, Zempak here. Right, it's that time of the decade again, the once every 4 years when Americans actually will watch soccer, aka football, aka real football. I mean, seriously, who the heck calls football soccer? Now, I actually had to look the term soccer up, and apparently it was a British invention or something, right? So I can't even really blame us Americans for this one. Kind of reminds me of the imperial measuring system, right? That was also invented by the good old Brits, and yet somehow even they realized that that was just plain dumb and gave up on it years ago. And somehow their cousins across the Pacific Ocean, Americans, stubbornly held on. Feet and yard and the term soccer, them's the schnitz, I guess. Oh my god, total tangent that was, right? So we're only through the end of the group stages in this World Cup so far, right? So I figured I'd use this time to arc my picks now, right? Now I'm going to be realistic, right? Not all my picks will likely win it all, right? Logically speaking, if you look at how many countries has actually won a World Cup, it really dawns on me how unlikely any Cinderella stories would be in this sport, right? So I'm going to give you my top three picks and where I think they'll end up, or should end up, if I have any reasonable guesses as a lifelong football fan, right? Oh, and I have to mention I'm pretty typical fan of football for an American at this point, right? I don't follow MLS or a local American league because the quality is just not the best, right? It's hard to watch anything that's definitely just a retirement league for better global players, right? So I do only watch soccer when the World Cup comes around every 4 years. So my knowledge of most teams are superficial at best. Heck, if I can name more than one player on a team, I'm pretty satisfied with myself. So pardon my lack of knowledge, right? My picks are mostly for sentimental reasons, shall we call it, okay? So if you enjoy some random rants from a dude with no production skills, clearly, like and subscribe, share and comment, or whatever. I'll be great regardless, because I'm already happy. Number one. This is kind of the default pick, the patriotic pick, right? USA, like duh, this should be a surprise to no one because I love the USA, my adopted homeland. Let's go red, white, and blue! Flag colors are probably the least instinctive way for me to describe this team, ain't it? Every time the World Cup comes around, I'm reminded of how many different countries their flags are also actually made out of red, white, and blue in some combinations. So what I should have probably said, to be more clear, is stars and stripes, mofos! Anyway, gotta root for the home team. This should surprise no one, right? Though with a few caveats, right? Realistically, the chances of the USA taking it all is, I think, almost zero. I know, we Americans are the most optimistic of people or sports fans in the world, I would say. Now, every game does need to be played and anything can happen, sure. But I think, a result anywhere in the top 8 or 4 would be amazing for this dude's American team, right? Or making the finals, good lord, that would be a dream for the US team. So at least I'm tempering my expectations on this pick, right? Now the second caveat is more personal, right? At this moment in time, the US moves out of the group stages. They're up against the Netherlands in the knockout round, right? So the next contest will really test who I'm rooting for this very simple reason that the Dutch football team wears the bestest color of all kits, which is orange. My god, my patriotism is being tested against my aesthetic pick for nicest color. Oh boy, I guess in a way it's a win-win. Either my country wins or my vanity does. What? Alright, moving on. Now, this is the first World Cup that I'll watch with a wifey. Oh my god, this just reminds me of how I've only known my beautiful partner in crime for slightly under 4 years. It's really easy it's really going to be easy to remember this because I can still measure the whole relationship as in between World Cups. Anyway, I'm gonna call this pick wifey pick because she's a Francophile, so of course she picked France to win it all. I mean, I like the French team, right? They score a lot, and I enjoy hearing the commentators yell out the name of their big star because Mbappe is very shoutable. Love it. I mean, my only problem with France as a World Cup winner pick is more that it just seems kind of basic, right? They're literally the defending champions from the last World Cup, so I'm sure the odds of them winning is at least decent. Now, forgive me for not knowing enough about the complexity of their team makeup and style and all that, but hey, let's go. Red, white, and blue! I mean, blue, white, and red? Flag issue rears its ugly head again. Alright, I'll stop my bitching and moaning now, right? I'd be reasonably happy if France takes it all, and more importantly, I'm pretty sure if France goes deep into this tournament, at least, that's the only way I can interest my wifey into watching some of these games with me. You know, keeping wifey happy is now my main goal in life, because my life is so leisurely. Now finally, the nostalgic pick for the World Cup is, for me at least, Argentina, right? I mean, the last decade and a half has been dominated by Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of individual soccer players, right? And this will probably be the last hurrah for both of them in terms of World Cup appearances, right? And frankly, when measured against their titanic levels of talent, their World Cup appearances has been underwhelming by most measures, right? Which is weird to say, since Messi did at least make the finals, I think 2 cups ago in 2014, whereas I don't think Portugal has even made the finals. But between these two veterans, I've always liked Messi more. I mean, look, maybe I'm just being a hater, but Cristiano always looked like to me more like a douche, at least visually speaking. I get it, he's very good, but he comes across as incredibly unrelatable, for a scrub like me anyway. Messi I can get behind, right? A player well known for finesse and vision rather than power and speed, right? The fact that Messi has made a final and lost probably also hurts him more, right? That's, you know, I mean, to come so close and not get there surely is devastating, right? So I'd love to see Messi get one before his time on the pitch is over. Yep, this is totally a sentimental pick, and frankly, this one could fall flat on my face immediately, as Argentina so far hasn't even moved on from the group stages yet, with their 1 win and 1 loss. They absolutely could use one more win just to guarantee themselves a way forward, so one step at a time, right? Yet for a country as storied as Argentina in football, nothing outside of a total win at this tournament stage is the expectation here. So who are you guys picking to win it all? Am I too chicken in picking such obvious powerhouses of countries like Argentina and France? I mean, I don't know if mine are the most basic ever. At least I didn't pick Brazil or Spain, right? Now, regardless of what happens, I'll be watching every and all games that I can watch. Now, wifey might be amused since she didn't take me to be a big sports fan. There's only 2 hours out of my life at a time. And besides, what else am I doing in my early retirement, right? Absolutely the fact that now I can work my life schedule around the World Cup for the very first time, like ever. Love it, love it. Let's go, football fans of the world. I want to see some memorable and memeable dives. Oh, and those shots of goal. Gotta love those Spanish commentary on football matches. Ahem. Cheers, a la prochaine.